up.
We are up, and this is Lana Ray with Patriot Resource Network, and today we've got Ken Hurley with us to talk about some basics to the Republican Party. And so I'm going to let Ken talk a little bit about himself and how he got started, and just give you a little bit of information. So Ken,
Run with it, huh?
run with it.
Okay. I was born and raised in southwest Kansas. Basically, Ford County, Dodge City, Kansas is the county seat, so everybody's heard of Dodge City from Gunsmoke. I lived in Buckland, Kansas, which is about 26 miles southeast of Dodge City. Okay, I was born in 1950, so I'm 73 years old, and moved to Missouri, which we love, in 1998, Christmas Eve. And we've just loved this area ever since. So coming here, now going back to Kansas in 1988, Ford County, the government, they were really not doing a good job. Now, this is my opinion. And so in 88, the 2nd District and 3rd District, I live in the 3rd District, were replaced by Cantonites. So anyway, I won the 3rd District. And so from 86 to 88, the average commissioner age, now understand I was 38 years old at that time, went from 71 years to 37 years average age. And we were like some young colts hooked up to a wagon and hard to control. So I only ran for one term. I completed about 95% of my projects in 4 years. No need to continue on. And this was, the Springfield area, southwest, south central, Missouri was my territory. So as each year you live, finally you hit, senior citizen and retired and got involved, full-time really involved in politics. But going back a few years in the early 2000s, I was an alderman for the city of Billings. So I've had county commissioner experience and city government. I prefer county government over city, and then really getting involved with conservatism because I actually levied taxes on people in, back in Ford County and in city of Billings, to fund government. And even back in the 80s and early 90s, even though no training or anything, governments just, they're too big, they've outgrown their britches, and they are kind of like a cancer. They're just, government is growing faster than the community and so on. And, today, it just, you can't retire. I mean, there's a few people that can, but if you want to have some sort of enjoyment as a retired person, by the time you pay property tax, state income tax, federal income tax, sales tax, I mean, it's just like in the state of Missouri in the last 5 years, and the average person doesn't know this, but our state budget has went from a little over 20 billion with a B dollars up to over $50 billion in 5 years. We can't afford that growth. And 51% of our state budget comes from the federal government. And that's why our federal government is spending $2 trillion with a T dollars more than they're bringing in. So how can anybody survive that type of rapid growth?
We're not.
That's growing faster than cancer,
No, we're not.
and it kills you. So that's kind of me in the history in the nutshell. I have been a Christian County Republican Central Committee man off and on since the early 2000s. I got involved when I was at the county level, when I was a city alderman.
Okay.
And, just all those years and in the political party, it's, we have the power to tax you. And I'm going to say 99%, almost 100% of the people don't even come to budget hearings to see what we're levying taxes for to, to spend your money.
Yeah.
And some of it, the government is spending money where it shouldn't even be involved. So,
Pretty much.
next question.
Next question is, so what are you currently, what's your position in the Republican Party?
Okay. In the state of Missouri, and it's in all states, and each state they can make laws that different, but in Missouri, we have, there are about 5 or 6 recognized political parties. Whoever gets the most votes for the president in a presidential election year is, and what political party our governor gets elected as. Right now we have a Republican governor. When you file and run for offices, you're listed first. So the Republican Party at this particular time is listed first on the ballot. And you'll see that in this coming August in the primary election. So you have the Republicans, the Democrats, the Libertarian, the Constitutional, and Independent. And those are recognized by the state of Missouri. There's other political parties out there, but they are not recognized in the state of Missouri. And then what my position is in the state of Missouri, we have 163 state representatives and 34 state senators. And Christian County, Lawrence County, Berry County, and McDonald County, which is basically most of southwest Missouri, is the 29th senatorial district. Mike Moon is that state senator at this time, and each senatorial district there is an elected committee man and committee woman, and I am the committee man, and I actually, out of 68 elected committee men, committee women throughout the state of Missouri, I sit at the level of the state GOP.
Okay.
And the GOP, a lot of people have heard that, but that's, it's an acronym. It's called Grand Old Parties.
Yeah.
So GOP is Grand Old Parties.
Yeah.
So you'll hear that.
Had no idea.
So that's why when we look and talk further on, the main website to check out the state Republican Party and then stair-step it down to congressional districts. At this time, Missouri has 8 congressional districts. We're in the 7th, Southwest Missouri. And so there's 7 other districts, and they're divided up by population. And then we have county level, we have city level, and then you can even get down to road districts and so on.
Okay.
But yeah, there's several levels in all political parties.
Well, great. Okay, so that's just a little bit of an outline. Ken, how would somebody get in touch with you if they wanted more information about the GOP or about what you're doing or how they could get involved in the Central Committee of their county? And of course, we're talking primarily with Christian County in Missouri. So you could be listening from anywhere in Missouri or other states.
Around the world.
But how would somebody get in touch with you if they wanted to know more or get more involved?
Okay. The best way is by two methods. Email, which is Ken Hurley, KenHurley 50 @gmail.com, and texting, because the way modern cell phones are, if you're not in my address book, it can take it to spam.
Oh,
So if you text 417-324-2196, so it's 417-324-219 or 6, and text me. And you can also go to mogop.org, O-R-G, and that'll bring up the state website for the Republican Party, but it's mogop.org.
a little higher. There we go. That gives you an idea of what the website looks like when you pull it up.
And then when you hit your drop-down menu, it'll say find your chair, and then it says state committee members, and then it brings up the state of Missouri,
All
and
right.
then down, I'm going to enlarge it, and in this part right here, I'm going to click on it, and it brings up my committee woman and my committee man, and that is my email address there.
Okay.
So it's that simple, and you can do that for all 34 senatorial districts. Now, how do we find what senatorial district you're in?
Well, I don't know, but we're going to stop with part one right here because we've hit a 15-minute time frame, which is what I'm trying to keep these to. So if you'll join us back on part two of the basics of the Republican Party, we will get into 7th District, what that is. We're going to get into a little bit more of the terminology that you hear, like GOP, the CCRCC, some of the acronyms on that. And we may get into also talking a little bit about the Republican Party. Is it or is it not a part of the federal government? Does anybody know the answer to that? I didn't for a long time. And so come back for part two and we'll continue on.